80! 100%!
Alright, we are back. So I finally completed Frieza episode's battle in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and I gotta say, I loved every bit of it. Today's video is going to be an overview as well as the analysis on the chapter and the decisions made and the awards I got from completing it. Let's get right to it. Alright, first thing you want to do is to make sure that the difficulty is set to default so you can unlock those secondary or alternate objectives in the game. This helps you accomplish some of those key decisions that needs to be made as we proceed in the chapter. Alright, let's get started. So the first battle with Frieza is crushing worthless insects, and it's pretty easy. I mean, it goes with the story. The first time you see Frieza in the Namek battle, so you're gonna have to beat Krillin, Piccolo, and Vegeta in that order. Okay, the fun begins. This next fight is a blast from the past, and this is where you fight Goku for the first time, but you're also gonna fight with the friends. There's gonna be a split decision here. The original story is where you have to wear the enemy down. Basically, you fight Goku, then he leaves for some time to create the Spirit Bomb. While he's creating the Spirit Bomb, you have to fight Krillin, Gohan, and Piccolo. This is a time limit here. If you prolong the fight, giving Goku enough time to prepare the Spirit Bomb, you continue to the main story and you complete your original objective. Basically, when you get to the fight with Piccolo, you want to just take your time there and make sure until Goku has like a nice monologue or a cutscene there and says, hey, the Spirit Bomb is ready, it's time to go. Boom. Now, on the alternate objective is that you have to defeat Krillin, Gohan, and Piccolo before Goku completes the Spirit Bomb. I'll have to say that you got to beat all of them in under 4 minutes, and that's kind of the sweet spot there. Once you're done, you would fight Goku again, and this time Goku's a little bit much more weaker. Then you can unlock a scene where it says Frieza defeats everyone. Then you get the wish to be immortal, and the story ends right there for Frieza, and we're all set there. Alright, that being said, we're going to continue to the original story where we actually have Frieza fight the Super Saiyan Goku. This goes with the original timeline of Dragon Ball Z. There are two objectives here. The first objective is that you got to beat Goku while you are 100% full power. Basically, in this game, when you defeat Goku as Frieza, you're going to get obliterated. As long as you are 100% full power and you beat Goku, it's going to be consistent with the story where you lose. The alternate objective is that you need to beat Goku without transforming, but you got to be quick. Same approach, you want to beat him between 2 to 4 minutes. Once you defeat Goku, you're going to unlock a scene called the Fall of Saiyans. Basically, this confirms that Frieza has defeated all the Saiyans, but he didn't pursue his immortality, which is kind of interesting there. But the fight with Goku continues to be a memory for Frieza, and the story ends right there. Plain and simple. Alright, the next fight is when Frieza becomes Mecha Frieza and goes back to Earth to get his revenge. You're going to meet Trunks, which aligns with the story, and you're going to get two objectives here. The first objective is that you have to fight Trunks for about 4 to 5 minutes, I believe, but you want to make sure you delay that fight and gives him time for him to beat you pretty much. That's how the story progresses. Frieza takes the L and that's it. We'll continue where we left off there, but the second objective is that you want to beat Trunks, like I mentioned earlier, between 3 to 4 minutes. You got to beat him quickly. You got to beat him as quick as you can. That 3 to 4 minutes is a safe spot. 3 minutes, that's great. But then you're going to unlock a rematch with Goku, and the story ends when Frieza beats Goku in the rematch, and that's it. That's really just a quick that was a quick fight, but this is just basically Frieza finally gets his happy ending on his revenge. And I like how each of these battles gives Frieza a happy ending and a bad ending, if you look at it from that perspective. But that's kind of where we get to here. Next up is where the real fight begins, the God of Destruction / Resurrection Frieza arc. This is where Frieza gets wished back to life. He trains and gets Golden Frieza, and then he comes back to Earth to get his revenge from Goku and Vegeta, and pretty much everyone at this point. But there are two objectives that you want to keep in mind for. The first objective is that you got to beat Goku and Vegeta, but once you beat Goku, you want to make sure you delay your fight with Vegeta just to get to the cutscene where Goku comes back from the do-over that Whis had and destroys Frieza, and that's it. Then from there you go straight to the Tournament of Power arc, and that's it. The second objective, which is pretty much similar, but you gotta beat Goku and Vegeta in under 4 minutes, both of them together. I'm just gonna say, once you beat Goku, you gotta make sure that you defeat Vegeta really quick. Vegeta is the key guy here. You want to make sure that you take him out as quick as you can, and this actually opens a story called Frieza's Philosophy. That's gonna be the last piece I'm gonna talk about in this video. But let's continue with the main story here. Now, if you stick to the main objective and complete the Resurrection Frieza story, where you get Kamehameha waved by Goku, you're going to move on to the next arc, which is the Tournament of Power, and that's consistent with Dragon Ball Super if you're familiar with that. Now, there are 3 fights here. The first fight is a surprise participant. This is basically where you fight Dispo. It might be an occasion where Jiren comes in to step in, but that doesn't really change the end result, because at the end of the day, Dispo is the main guy, and once you beat him while Gohan is backing you up, you're all set. The next fight is going to be Virtuous Warrior and Villainous Warrior. This is basically where you fight Top. So if you're already familiar with the story here, Frieza fights Top, then Top finally transforms and gets the God of Destruction form. So that's kind of where it is there in number 2. And alright, the final fight here is just a climactic battle beyond all limits. This is kind of where you defeat Jiren with the help of Android 17, and Goku ends up coming in later in the game to help you. It aligns and is consistent with the Dragon Ball story arc, and you end the story there. That's it. Now let's go back to the Resurrection Frieza arc like I talked about. If you completed the second objective where you beat Goku and Vegeta in under 4 minutes, but mainly defeat Vegeta as quick as you can, you will unlock a cutscene where Frieza's about to destroy Goku, Vegeta, and everyone, but Beerus steps in and tells him to stop, and Frieza gives Beerus his conditions, and that's to use the Dragon Balls to wish all his minions back. So you get the Ginyu Force, you get Dodoria and Zarbon, and you're good. And that unlocks Frieza's philosophy. That goes on down into the video what I'm going to talk about. Now, in this gameplay with Frieza's philosophy, Beerus is going to come talk to you about joining the Tournament of Power, and Frieza has a condition where he wants to bring someone that he really trusts, and there are 4 decisions here who you want to be added. You can select King Code, you can select Dodoria and Zarbon, you can select Cooler, and you can select Ginyu Force. This is probably my best moment of the episode, to be honest, but although the end result still remains the same of each of these decisions, the award changes, right? I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure you can tell who you're gonna get. So if you pick King Ko, who's basically the weakest on this list, you unlock the Parent-Child Tournament of Power, and you fight Cauliflower Kale. Sadly, King Ko gets obliterated. Then you move on to the next battle, and you defeat Kefla with your golden form, and you win the Tournament of Power, and then you unlock King Code. I mean, it is what it is, but yep, if you pick Dodoria and Zarbon, then you're gonna fight Bergamo, Kakunsa, and Frost, and then you win the Tournament of Power. Next person is Cooler. Once you pick Cooler, you're gonna unlock the Brothers Fight Together scene, where you defeat Hit, and then you unlock Cooler, and you win the Tournament of Power. That one's really quick and simple. The Ginyu Force, sadly, is your 4th option. And what makes this sad is that they're more of a cheerleader squad. Yeah, that's the best way I can explain this. They're just there for support. You're not really gonna do anything with them. You can't switch to them like the way you could switch through King Code, but you get scenes where they strike a pose. You also get scenes with Ribian, as well as you get scenes from the Pride Troopers. And that's pretty much it. I mean, to be honest, when I was kind of expecting a little bit more, I was like, oh wow, they're gonna let me use all the Ginyu Force members? I'm like, that's kind of a lot. I think you can only use 5 characters, but it is what it is. I mean, that is pretty much it. So that concludes this video. I think my highlight of the entire episode Frieza battle is the Frieza's philosophy, which I'm pretty sure everyone would agree. But one thing you want to look at it from an overall perspective is that this entire episode just tells you this is the good for Frieza and this is the bad for Frieza. The bad for Frieza is the good for us. It's the Canon Dragon Ball series, right? Where Frieza loses, he doesn't get everything he needed. I mean, well, up until the latest chapters of Dragon Ball Super. Like, we can talk about that another time. But yep, I also have the full gameplay of the entire Frieza episode battle uploaded to my channel. Again, that is non-commentary, so if you just want to go ahead and watch it and enjoy it, I will include a link to that gameplay here. Shout out to you all for supporting my channel. I really appreciate this. It really goes a long way. For new folks, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more content, and hit that post notification bell to stay updated. Until next time, peace.